January 1959. In the northern Ural Mountains of the Soviet Union, 9 hikers, including Igor Dylatov, embark on what would become their last hike ever. What happened in those whiteout conditions? Was a deadly mistake made? Did they run into an unbelievable creature? Or maybe it was just a case of wrong place at the wrong time. Find out as the investigators dig through the frostbite and search for answers on the Dylatov Pass incident.
Ooh.
Hey, we're the Bizarre Investigations. I'm Hugh.
Hey, this is Bizarre Investigations. I'm Hugh.
And I'm Farnsey and Josh.
We are
Smoking
getting
crack.
off to a good start.
Oh yeah, very good start. So yeah, guys, what's up? I haven't seen you in a week. How you guys doing?
We are doing, well, actually, I can't speak for Farnsey, but I'm doing?
You're doing?
I'm doing.
Still tired? We're still doing the show on Saturdays right after work. You awake now, or are you still tired?
No, I'm feeling a little bit better today. Got this water, some taquitos, so.
You bring a bang?
I already drank my bang, actually.
Oh shit, okay. What about you, Farnsey?
I'm doing all right. Now, I
Purple haze, by the way. Bang, purple haze.
think early in the week, I probably had like a demonic possession
Oh, that's always
in my mind because I was having dark thoughts.
That's always good.
Yeah. But I think I'm good now. I'm going to switch up my diet. Feeling a little better.
That's good. That's
The
good.
I
diet,
think that gut flora is fucking controlling our minds, guys.
Yeah.
that diet got rid of the demons.
Hell yeah, it did.
Oh, shit. My headphones died.
Did they die again? Sorry, we're still learning this shit. We just got a splitter so we can do it, and it's very iffy. So if we ever, in the middle of a podcast start fucking not hearing it, it's because we're trying to fix something.
Yeah, so just bear with us, please.
Yeah, we're still in the beginning phases of this shit.
And
This is
we're
only
in the
episode
beginning
3.
stages of this shit, so.
I don't know what I said.
I don't either.
I'm pretty sure I said the same thing.
Probably. I mean, it was similar.
Yeah.
It's good enough, I guess.
Oh, that's a lot better.
All right. You're good now?
Alrighty then.
All right. What were we talking about?
Finkel is Einhorn is Finkel. Laces out.
Laces out.
So yeah, actually, this is gonna be a short episode for you, isn't it? You gotta
Yeah.
leave for work soon.
Yeah, I gotta go watch people smear shit on their faces.
Oh god, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah, hopefully not.
I don't want to hear about it next week.
Poo-poo party. Go to the poo-poo party.
So you got 22 minutes before you gotta leave, right? You gotta leave at 1.
Exactly on the dot.
Exactly on the dot. All right. So what's been new, guys?
Honestly, nothing.
So how about we get into some bizarre stories, huh?
Yeah, let's get into these things. Let's get it going.
It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder.
I don't know yet. Wait 1 second, guys. bear with me here.
We gotta find something content worthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep you guys hanging around, not sleeping.
Yeah.
Who knows what you're doing?
Let's check this one out. This one is called Fairies. Once again, haven't read this, so here we go. Here's nothing. Or here's some bad reading. A poor woman is tending a field and puts her baby down on the grass next to her. She gets so caught up in her work that she forgets about the child and goes home. That night, a group of fairies hear the child crying and rush towards it. They feed the child, bathe it, tend to it, and let it sleep in the fairy grove that night. In the morning, they take it back to the mother. She's extremely upset about forgetting her baby, but they laugh it off carelessness. They laugh off the carelessness and give her piles and piles of gold. So that
I'm gonna forget my fucking baby.
so that she can stop working and give the baby a good life. A few days later, the woman tells the story to her friends. One of them grows insanely jealous and decides that she too would like some gold. So she takes her baby, dresses it in only a thin slip, and leaves it by the woods. Then she goes home, where she waits and waits. Day comes, but no one brings her baby. Panic-stricken, she runs back to the woods. The fairies greet her and ask her why she left her child in the cold. I forgot it, she said. It's so hard raising a child without any gold. I go hungry every night trying to feed this kid. You gave my friend gold. Give me some too. Yes, the fairies said, we will help you. Then they bring out her child, who smiles brightly when he sees his mother's face. I don't know why she left. Mother smiles back and holds out her arms for him. A fairy holds him up and then bites into his side.
What the fuck?
The child screams. The woman tries to rush forward, but she is frozen in place, unable to move. The fairies gather around the baby and slowly tear its flesh from its bones.
What the fuck?
While the baby screams in agony and cries for his mother's help. When the child is dead, the fairies hand the bloody skin back to the mother. Here, they said, now you don't have to worry about feeding it. So they did help this second mom. Now, these stories are supposed to be fucking true.
Holy shit.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this one's not.
What the fuck?
Posted by Nessa Rose.
She's a psychotic bitch.
God, Nessa Rose, you're fucking...
Yeah, that's a... When I started reading it, I kind of realized that's probably not a true story.
Dude, what
But-
the fuck was that?
You never know. You never know. Don't be greedy, people.
I wish some fairies would
Yeah.
find me and give me some fucking gold.
Yeah, just don't try it, because then your kid's gonna get eaten by fairies, and it's all
Yeah,
bad
give
at
me
that
some
point.
fucking gold. Oh, Jesus. It will tear your baby's skin off, wear it, and then give it to you.
Yep.
So far, we
Jesus
got one
Christ.
good story. The other story,
It was at least interesting, right?
the first story was interesting. And
Well,
good.
this story, I mean,
The story was
clearly wasn't
fucking
true, but
stupid.
it was interesting.
That one was a hard hitter, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm a little traumatized from that.
I can't tell if the fairies are good or bad, because they did give the first mom some gold to help her out.
Because she legitimately left the kid.
I mean, she's a bad
This is
mom.
a story
she forgot her
about-
kid, right?
I feel like there's a story moms would tell their daughters who are about to become moms.
Yeah.
Like, hey, don't be a greedy little bitch.
Also, don't forget your
Work
kid
for
in
your
the
shit.
fucking woods. That's
Yeah.
probably a bad idea.
Don't purposely leave your kid in the woods.
But if you do it on accident, you will be rewarded.
Yes.
Jesus.
Don't feel bad.
So that's also something to live by. Forget your kids on accident, you'll be rewarded. Forget them on purpose, they die.
You fucking... Yeah, they'll eat them in front of you.
So that's that was the bizarre story of the week.
That's crazy
It was,
fuck.
That was a bizarre story.
God damn it.
Absolutely.
We got a security story this week. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
got one.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't remember when, but it was a couple months ago. So, backstory, this 17-year-old, he's autistic, and his parents watch him, and he lives, like, in a trailer park, right? So, this is the first encounter I have with him. Police bring him in. His parents weren't home. He's 17. He's the size of an adult. And he wanders off to the nearby Walmart. And he needs to be supervised by his parents, first of all. And this kid, I don't know what went on with him in his past or what he's got going on, but he was in Walmart, so he's autistic. And he talks like this, like a child. And oh, that almost sounds like Mike Tyson. But he has like a speech impediment. He sounds like a kid. But while he was at Walmart, unsupervised, the police brought him in because he found a 7-year-old boy grabbed him and snatched him into the Walmart bathroom and started diddling his dots.
Shit.
And then, so PD brought him to the hospital on a 5150 hold because he's always fighting the cops and shit. And then he wants to off himself. So they bring him to the hospital, and we got to deal with him. That was the first instance. And he was cool after he got there. He was fine. We feed him like a fucking horse because he's fucking 250 pounds, 17-year-old.
Oh, damn.
And he's like fucking 5'10", so he's a big fucking dude.
Okay.
And he's got that super strength that all autistic children have. So the last and final time he comes in, he punched his mom and went to the neighbor's house, slapped the neighbor, the female neighbor, and was trying to molest her son.
Jesus Christ.
And the PD brought him in, and we had to. He got brought in. He was fine, and he was sticking around too long. So these patients get frustrated, and this dude starts acting up, tries punching one of our guards, and we end up taking him to the ground and holding him down for an hour. Because after he punched the guard, he was trying to attack a cop that was in there following up with nurses on a case
Trying
or
to
whatever.
attack a cock?
A cop.
Cop.
C-O-P.
Cop.
Law enforcement. And the cop fucking ran like a little fucking pussy. He's like, oh, I guess he's after me, so I might as well slip away. And he went and hid in one of the fucking doctor's offices. So we're laying on him for like an hour before PD gets there because we have to listen to whatever the clinical fucking staff says because they don't think that we can handle, this dude because he is 250 pounds, 5'10". And he's already been medicated at this point. So we get PD in there, and they're like, we can't arrest him. It's this whole gray area bullshit about how they can't arrest him. But he's been medicated, so I advise that we get him up, get him on the bed, get him back in the room. So we do. We get him back in the room. I have one of our guys with me. We're talking to this kid, and I was like, what are you doing, man? Why are you trying to hurt us? You don't like to hurt people, man. And he said, yes, I do. I like to hurt people. And I was like, why? And he's like, I like to hurt 12-year-olds. I like to suck their dicks.
What the fuck?
And I look at my other officer, and I was like, go tell the clinical staff. And he goes, I'll suck your dick.
Oh
Right to me. And I was like, what the fuck? And then he pulls out his dick, and he starts stroking his dick, and then the other staff get in there, and I take the blanket he's got, and he starts pissing, so I throw the blanket on him, so he's pissing on the blanket, and we have to fucking hold him down and fucking medicate it and restrain him because he's just fucking nuts.
Fuck.
He straight up said, I like to hurt 12-year-olds.
Kid needs some fucking help,
I'll
man.
suck your dick. I was like, what the fuck?
What did you say when he asked you that? When he told you that, though? What did you said no? Or?
I said, fuck no. What the fuck? I was like,
shit.
no, I told my guard to fucking tell the other fucking staff, we need to get this dude fucking strapped down. So we had to strap him to the gurney. And that is after medication. So when you get given that medication, you're fucking out in like 30 minutes.
And
Good.
how long was this? You said over an hour?
Yeah, we held him down for an hour, and he was medicated already. And then he started fucking stroking his dick, offering blowjobs and shit. We had to fucking lock him down.
Damn blowjobs.
Woo.
Woo.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Good little story.
Yeah.
So because you got to leave soon, instead of doing the what's on your mind at the end, we're going to do it right now. So, Farnsey, what's on your brain?
I think that a lot of our thoughts and shit are influenced by the bacteria in our gut.
What?
Yeah. Have you guys heard about that? Your gut flora, the amount of bacteria, because we're like mostly bacteria.
Okay.
In our blood, in our body, in our organs, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what happens. I know for a fact that when you consume carbs and sugars, your gut produces, I think it's candida or something, some form of bacteria that, how you get a craving?
Yeah.
That's your fucking gut bacteria sending signals to your fucking brain.
Damn.
I didn't know that.
Dude,
I want a crunch wrap right now.
Me too. Now that you fucking said that.
Like a breakfast crunch wrap.
Hell yeah.
I fucking love Crunch Wraps, but I have to stay gluten free. Gluten is poison. That's another thing that's on my mind is gluten. I never knew I had a gluten allergy or celiac disease.
Yeah.
That it fucks you up, and over time you fucking pretty much you're building up cancer over time.
Fucking gluten.
Yeah, dude.
And there's 2.5 million undiagnosed cases. But I think a lot of shit with either mental health or fatigue or fucking, weight gain or fucking arthritis has to do with diet and nutrition. Because
I agree.
I think that's one thing that I know for a fact that's one thing doctors don't tell you is that we're not nutrified enough. Because there's like 101 or 98 to 101 essential vitamins and minerals that we need to like stay regulated.
I saw something the other day. Kind of goes on the same thing about eating. Like, 20 years ago, remember the food pyramid?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up.
See it in school and shit.
Bottom was meat, right?
Meat.
Meat is like the essential food to survive. But now they flipped it. Now they want you to consume more carbs. And look at it. In the last 20 years, we became 60% more obese or something like that. Don't quote me on numbers, guys. I don't do my research all the way.
Yeah, well, half of America is fat for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm pretty overweight myself, so that's why I'm saying that
we're all fat.
When they flipped the food pyramid thing when we grew up in school, now it's carbs. They want you to consume more carbs and stuff like that. Now I don't know if it's healthy carbs or anything like that, but they definitely do want you to consume more carbs instead of meat. Like I changed my diet just last week to only eat meat. I lost 14 pounds in 7 days.
Carnivore diet.
Yeah,
Carnivore diet, yeah.
I'm back on that too. I swear, I did the first time I did a carnivore diet it's for 8 days, and I fucking shit you not, I felt like I was.
Felt amazing.
I felt amazing. First of all, the energy levels were fucking psychotic. There was one time I was sitting on the couch, and I got like this burst of fucking, like I felt my fucking blood pumping. I was like fucking jacked, but I also felt like. In my mind, such clarity. Like, I felt like I was getting some telekinesis powers, motherfucker.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what a diet will do for you, though. Shit, I go on diets all the time. They don't last that long, but I go on them all the time. And that short time that I'm on them, yeah, I feel fucking amazing.
Feel like
dude.
I
feel
was
like you can do anything, right?
Yeah.
Read people's minds and shit.
Got that energy. Go all night long.
That too. That'll fucking change you too. You'll wake up in the morning and you'll be like, what the fuck? You get such a raging fucking morning wood. You're like, what the fuck is going on here? I've never experienced this before. Yeah. You'll notice the difference. It'll be a big difference.
Eat meat.
Oh, and also the regularity. Like, there's nothing like waking up in the morning knowing, yep, I'm going to take a shit.
Yep, it's time. Morning glory.
Morning glory. Perfect timing. Every time. On the dot. And it's like just regularity, clarity, and focus.
Hell yeah.
I like it. So that's what's in Farnsey's brain.
Yep. And now it's perfect timing. It's almost 1 o'clock. I want to get you out of here.
Oh, shit. Yep, better go.
All
All
right.
right, my mans.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back.
We are back. Farnsey-less.
Yeah, so now it's just
Sans Farnsey.
Josh and I. Hugh and Josh.
You and Josh.
Episode 4. 20 minutes in, we're finally getting into the episode.
Sorry about that, guys.
Episode 4, Dylatov Pass.
Dylatov Pass.
Dylatov Pass. Pretty interesting incident.
Yeah, it's definitely bizarre. A lot of shit happened.
I definitely did a little bit more research into this one than I did Operation High Jump. Sorry for being informationalist.
No, I think this one piqued my interest a little bit more too. This is kind of shit I get into. So this one should be pretty interesting. Should be pretty fun.
Yeah. So it involves 9 hikers. The 9 hikers, Josh got the names.
I do have the names, but pronouncing them correctly is going to be quite the task. So I'll do my best. Apparently there was 2 women and 8 men. So the first one is Igor Dylatov. That's what the pass ends up being named after this guy.
He's a leader.
He was the leader. And he's the one who brought 9 hikers with him. The first one was Yuri Doroshenko. Then we got Lyudmila Dubanina. That one's a little easier, like the last name. So just call her Dubanina. And then we got another Yuri Krivonchenko, Alexander
Kolvatov.
That's right. And then Zinaida.
Zinadia? I don't know.
Zinadia? Kolmogorova. We are really good at this.
Sorry, we're
Just bear with us. We're just going to get these names out there. And then Rustim Slobodin.
Easiest name?
Nikolai.
There we go.
Nikolai Vladimirovich. And then Simeon. That's the one that actually joined them in the hike, right? Simeon?
Yeah, he was not part of the original.
So he was not part of the people that Igor actually brought with him. He actually found them, and he was supposed to be on some other hike, and he ended up joining their expedition.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one was Yuri Yudin.
And he actually left the expedition 2 days before this incident took place because he fell ill.
Yeah, so he left the expedition on January 28th.
And this incident took place February 1st.
Right. So I've heard that he was sick, but also I read that he had knee and joint pain, so he just didn't feel like he was going to be able to make it, so he turned around.
Yeah. And that's where they picked up the extra guy. What was his name? I forgot his name. Simeon. That's when they picked up Simeon.
An easy one to remember, honestly. It's not.
Yeah. So that's when they picked up Simeon when the other Yuri left.
Yeah.
So many years. And the same thing happened to his group of friends. I'm pretty sure, if I read correctly, that he left his group of friends because of an injury that took place too, and then he just wanted to redo it.
Well, it was my understanding from what I saw that he was supposed to meet up with this other group, right?
Yeah,
reconnect with him, and he wasn't able to find them, so he said, "Fuck it, I'll go with these complete strangers." Make this crazy ass hike with these complete strangers. Also, one thing is these hikers, they were extremely experienced hikers, so they weren't some kind of novice going up this crazy ass mountain.
They're all doing this trip to do another hard trip and to also get their certificate in hiking, pretty much.
Yeah, I guess there was like a level 3 that they were going to, so when they returned from this hike, they were going to be level 3, which is, I guess, the highest you can get in the Soviet.
The Soviet Union, yep. I don't see anything wrong with that statement.
So
there's these 9, there's total of 10, but 1 left, so now there's 9. These 9 hikers hiked the pass, the Ural Mountains, which translate to Ural. Yeah, Ural.
Yeah.
Which now all right. They hiked the Ural Mountains, and as they're hiking, there is a storm that took place, which made them go off track from statements and what I read. They also had a diary, and they ended up going off track, and they set up camp on the edge of a slope of Kolat something. I can't pronounce the name, so I'm just going to call it by its new name, called Dead Mountain.
Kolat Saiki. Let's just call it Dead Mountain.
Dead Mountain. Dead Mountain is the name because that's what the indigenous people called the Mansi tribe, right? That's what they're called?
Yeah.
The Mansi tribe called the mountain Dead Mountain. Why would you hike near Dead Mountain?
For the brush.
For the brush, yep. Because obviously you don't die there. But anyway, so
the conditions when they finally decided to stop, though, they were like whiteout conditions, pretty much. Right?
It was
crazy.
Yeah, the storm finally hit. It was whiteout. That's why they lost their way, and that's why
it took them off course.
Yeah, that's what I read. It took them off course because there was tree lines. I want to say like 1 kilometer away, 0.5 kilometers away.
They were close, which kind of begs the question why they didn't just set up in the tree line and kind of block the wind a little bit. Some resistance.
That's where the whiteout could have come into play. They couldn't see anything.
Well, you should be able to see the woods, though, right? You would think. I mean, I've never been in that.
I've
shit.
been
I don't
in
know.
foggy situations, and you can't see anywhere in front of you. So I'm assuming a whiteout where there's actually snow in front of you. Guarantee you can't see shit.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
Just
last night I was driving and I couldn't. It was so foggy I couldn't see the damn street lights in front of me.
shit. Yeah,
I can't imagine the whiteout snow and crazy ass wind and all that shit.
Yeah. So it's a whiteout. I think that's why they got off track. So set up mountain and Igor told his fam. I'm pretty sure it was his family that if you don't hear from me by the 12th, we're setting out a little bit late.
So there, what I read. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
No, go.
But so what I read is that he was actually relaying this information to some group back at the college they all came from.
Okay, yeah.
And he was supposed to send them some kind of telegram or some shit, right?
By the 12th, but the expedition might take a little longer, so they waited.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. They're hiking up a damn mountain, right? So
yeah.
There could be delays, and I think that them being experienced, their family and friends and the people at the college, whoever it may be, probably expects, say, there's a day or two of a leeway there.
Yeah. But come February 20th, the family starts getting worried. And they call the local police and say, hey, you need to go find this place. You need to go find these people because they have not returned home. They're all experienced hikers. So come, February 30th, they sent out a military expedition?
Yeah, it took them a few weeks, and then they sent out these military guys trying to find these people. So
I think it was February 30th when they found them. Not February 30th. There's no February 30th. What the fuck am I... The hike took place February 1st. They sent out a message February 20th. I was saying February 30th, but there's no February 30th. I was an idiot.
I'm just catching on to that, so good for you. Fucking February 30th, man.
On the 26th of February, the searchers found the group's abandoned and badly damaged tent. So that's when the military finally found...
Supposedly, yeah.
So they found took February 26th is when they found them. And then 4 months later, they gave up. 4 months later, they went back and found the other bodies. So
they found 4 bodies, right?
No, they found
6.
No, they found 5 bodies.
And that's initially when they went to look for them, and
yeah.
they're like, we can't keep looking, so we'll come.
They waited
back
for the snow to thaw out.
Yeah,
and they came back and they found the last 4 bodies. Which the first 5, they said they died of hypothermia. There was no signs of damage to anything to their body. They died of hypothermia. 4 months later, when they go back and found the rest of the bodies, that's where the conspiracy comes into play because, let's see here. One died of severe chest trauma, eyes missing.
Blunt force trauma to the chest.
Yes. One had a fatal skull injury. The other one had internal bleeding from severe chest trauma. One eye and tongue are missing.
So also, what I saw was that this kind of damage done to the chest couldn't be caused by a human being. It's not possible.
Yeah, it's more like from a car crash.
It's more reminiscent of a car crash,
yeah.
Correct. So that kind of takes out a few of the possibilities just based on that alone, right?
Yeah. And there's also, looking it up, I found some that one person was missing both eyeballs, one person was missing one, the other person was missing one. There's so many different claims on who's missing eyeballs.
Yeah. Different people are reporting different things as far as that goes.
Injuries, yeah. So what we came up with was one person missing one, the other person's missing another one. So they're both, 2 people are missing 1 eyeballs each.
It was Dubinina who was missing her tongue and eyeballs, right?
Yeah, but I also read something that was just she lost 1 eyeball.
And her tongue.
And upper lip and part of her nose and skull fracture.
I keep hearing a lot of people saying that the missing tongue wasn't a big deal. It shouldn't have played a factor. Like, it wasn't as important as it sounds. Like, they were saying it wasn't as important as it sounds.
Yeah.
Which, to me, is definitely plays a factor, you would think. They also said they found blood in her stomach. So that would indicate that
she was alive.
Ripped out. Or no, I can't say ripped out, but it was taken out.
When she was alive.
So that, to me, definitely is a factor.
I agree. I believe it's a factor. I think it's a big factor, actually. I think the fact that all these damages took place where there was no external injuries, right? There was no signs of, there was no bruising.
Well, actually, I did see someone in one of the stuff I was reading, I seen that there was some weird bruising on some of the thighs of them. Like it looked as if maybe they were running and
They were hitting trees or something?
yeah, something
Branches?
something along those lines.
But I'm talking about like the injuries that took place to their body, like the severe chest fractures and shit like that.
You're
and
saying
skull.
there was no outward evidence?
Yeah, there was no like bruising on their body. Because if you die and you have bruising, the bruising's going to stay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because your blood can't circulate anymore and it's just going to stay there. And the fact that they were in the ice and shit like that, their body's not decomposing as it should.
Yeah.
And that, going back to the tongue thing, those bodies were covered under like 4 meters of snow.
Yeah.
There's no way scavengers got to them, which what they're saying. That's how they lost their tongue and eyes.
That's one question I was actually curious on. Like when I was going through this entire thing, it's negative 31 degrees. You got probably some crazy wind chill there.
Oh, yeah.
The conditions are not ideal. I mean, what kind of scavengers are out there?
Just animals.
Yeah, but what kind though? What kind can survive in that? And that's what I was curious about.
There's
So
like
what kind
Arctic
can
foxes
just-
and shit like that.
Yeah, I seen foxes. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It is kind of weird. I'll agree.
I'm obviously not fucking well versed in what kind of animals live up there, but it just seems like there wouldn't be a whole ton of animals just could survive.
If there is, it's probably like hibernating and shit because it's fucking cold.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All right, so we want to get into some.
Real quick, the military who found this campsite,
Mm-hmm.
they said that there were footprints found in the snow that were leading away from the campsite, and it appeared they were walking. So they weren't in a hurry or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, to me, that doesn't make sense because you would think in the snow, how are they finding footprints a month later and 4 months later in the snow?
Well, we're not very versed in snow because we're in Sacramento.
Right. But still, I mean, you can use your logic and say, hey,
Well,
if it's snowing,
have you ever
you're
been
not
to the
going to
snow?
find footprints in snow.
So when you step in snow, like soft powdered snow, you step in it, your foot goes down, you're compacting the snow right there, and then snow builds up on it, but it's another compact snow, so potentially they can find it.
You wouldn't be able to make out the footprints and how fast they were going and all that kind of
That's
crap.
true.
And I also don't think you would be able to make out the footprints that clearly.
I mean,
So me personally, I think with the conditions, you're not going to find footprints at all. It doesn't make sense.
there could be amazing trackers though.
Then why didn't they find them earlier? Took them quite a long time to find them.
I don't know.
But to me, that's one thing that kind of baffled me. I was sitting, I'm like, okay, well, how do you find these footprints after so many weeks when it's clearly snowing because it was whiteout conditions, right?
Yeah,
So how do you find the footprints? It doesn't make sense.
that is weird.
Didn't add up.
No. That is bizarre.
So want to get into a little bit of like what we know happened or what we're told happened as far as like, okay, so they're at the campsite and in the middle of the night, they fucking leave the tents and they cut the tents open from the inside, right?
Yeah, so something spooked them enough to cut their tents open from the inside, and they all fled, pretty much naked, except for a few of them had clothes on. The people that found 4 months later had clothes on. And Igor, because Igor is an experienced hiker. He knew if he was going to go out into the fucking freezing cold snowstorm that was going on, he needed clothes on. So he was like one of the few people that actually had.
And Simeon, right? The older guy. So here's a little bit more information. All these people are young. They're like 22, 23 years old, right?
Simeon's like 36.
The Simeon was the one that joined the expedition late, and they didn't really know him. So he's 36, 38, somewhere around there.
Yeah, but he was also one of the ones found later on. He had clothes on. I want to say almost all the people that had clothes on were found later, except for Igor. But I could be wrong.
Well, I know for sure that the Simeon guy did, and that was kind of one of the theories that we'll get into a little bit later.
Yeah. Well, so something spooked him enough to run half naked out into the freezing cold. Some were found by the tree, climbing a tree, pretty much. They had the damage to their hands of climbing the trees in the freezing cold.
Like as if they were climbing it
Frantically.
right. Like they were trying to get up it quickly in a hurry.
Yeah. Igor was the one found closest to the camp. He was a few hundred meters away, and he had pretty much a tree in his hand, like one of those little tiny trees that stick out.
And it was covering his head.
Yeah, and he died covering his head. And then the other people were found 4 months later. Like I said, one was found with no eyes. Supposedly another one was found with one eyeball missing, tongue ripped out, whole bunch of injuries. All right.
Nikolai was the one with the skull injury.
Yeah.
Simeon had severe chest trauma and eyes missing. Let me see, what was the other one? Most of them were hypothermia. But we said Dubinina was the one with internal bleeding, severe chest damage, one eye and tongue missing. So
yeah,
those are kind of the breakdowns of what they had. The people that were found by the trees, though, that's a little weird. Why would they climb the trees? That's interesting.
Yeah, I concur. All right, so want to get into some conspiracies about this?
Yeah,
want to get into like what the non-believers of conspiracies are trying to say. And I know a lot of them are bringing up like avalanches.
Avalanches. So these guys are experienced hikers, right?
Yeah, they would not hike.
So they would hike.
Yes, they would hike.
They would not have set up camp where they're going to be in the way of an avalanche. It just doesn't make sense. Also,
yeah, the people that knew Igor said that he would never have done that.
Yeah, and he would have set it up in a better place. And from what I understand, where they set it up, there was no signs of an avalanche.
There's never been an avalanche there.
And there's no signs of it. So if there's an avalanche, you're going to see that snow, right? Even when they found him 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, whatever it was, they're going to see the evidence of an avalanche. It's not just going to be gone. Yeah. So for me, that one doesn't make sense. And I guess an avalanche may explain some of the trauma, like to the chest and all that. I mean...
But the missing eyes and
it
the
doesn't
tongue.
Explain that, and it also the fact that there's no evidence of an avalanche left behind from when they found him. Yeah, that kind of, for me, that's a no-go.
I agree. So
I got a bunch of theories here as far as what people thought. Maybe we can go over them a little bit. The first one,
shoot them out.
The first one is that one of the hikers were in the tent, and he had to go pee in the middle of the night. Okay. So he gets out, and because of the wind or whatever, he gets lost, and then they all go looking for him.
Why are they all going looking for him naked?
Yeah, this is just a theory.
No, they're not naked.
To me, this is one that holds like the littlest amount of weight with me. One of them, anyways, because it doesn't make sense whatsoever.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't explain almost anything realistically, except for that they're out of their tent. And if you got to go pee, why the hell are you cutting yourself out of the tent to go pee? Just get out of it the proper way, right?
Can't run the fucking zipper. What the fuck?
Right. So I don't know. For me, that one doesn't make any kind of sense whatsoever. I just thought I'd throw it out there because it was something that was discussed.
No, that's not it, Chief. That's not it.
Yeah. And kind of goes hand in hand with that one is the strong winds.
So strong winds ripped open the tent.
No, because it was...
they're flying in the air, so they fucking...
Well, the strong winds kind of go hand in hand with the fact that the individual supposedly went out to pee, right? And then he's kind of swept away by these strong winds. They go out looking for him.
Oh, then, okay. Next.
Right. So, another one was escaped prisoners. So some prisoners escaped from where, I don't fucking know. But apparently some people think prisoners escaped, found this campsite. These prisoners thought it'd be a cool idea to kill these guys, and they did.
Prison to Ural Mountains.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, it doesn't hold much weight either. That's why the hell are prisoners who just escaped going to hike up this mountain? For what reason? Maybe to hide, but I mean, it just to me, that one doesn't make much sense as well.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, right now I'm looking up where the closest
prison is.
Prison to Ural Mountains, and some reason California State Prison comes up.
There you go. There you go. I'd imagine that's not the closest one, but either way, even that theory doesn't make sense to me. First of all, 6 of them died of hypothermia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them died of hypothermia.
Yeah.
So the prisoners gave them hypothermia, or what?
Well, they're fleeing from the the prisoners, if that was the case, and then they died of hypothermia.
Well, I mean, like you said before, the damage that was done couldn't be caused by humans, so
Yeah.
that kind of excludes that one for me. And then there's another cool little theory. This one actually is kind of cool, but it doesn't explain everything. And it's infrasound, like a vortex. It can be man-made. It can be made by nature. So I guess
What is it?
it's called infrasound.
What's the premise of that?
So
I haven't heard this one before.
So infrasound is something that is created by the wind.
Okay.
It's a vortex stream, and it can cause you to be delirious, delusional, fucking lose your shit pretty much. So they think that
It's like, is it like hypersonic like noise? And it's like just
it's a noise that can't be heard, I guess, by the human ears or some shit like that. But
it's probably like such a low or high decibel that you can't hear it. It sounds
right,
like just a 10
you can't really hear it, but it'll drive you fucking nuts pretty much, and you'll just completely lose your shit.
I like that one.
It's an okay one,
Yeah,
but also it doesn't explain a lot.
It doesn't explain the eyes, the damage caused.
Right.
It explains
it can't be caused by a human, right?
Yeah, it explains
So if one of them loses their mind,
yeah,
and goes on a little rampage, still the damage inflicted, it can't be caused by a human.
Yeah.
According to what the report said. So
no, yeah, it was like unknown compelling force is what caused the damage apparently.
yeah. So for me, that one.
I like it, but it doesn't
holds a
cause
little more
damage.
weight than the other ones, but this one for me, it's just also kind of cross that one off.
Yeah.
So this one's kind of fun, and it falls into the same category. But it was said that these people were KGB,
Okay.
sent to kill members of the CIA that were in the area. But the CIA kind of got the jump on them and killed them.
They're trying to say a 23-year-old named Igor
Led other KGB members
maybe
on a hunt.
I would be okay with Simeon because he was military.
That's one thing, dude. Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah. But this theory for me, it's just kind of one of those wacky ones.
Yeah.
I believe aliens before I believe that, which gets me to the point of aliens,
Okay.
which I think is a fun one though. There's so much that could happen with that. Like for instance, the trees.
Mm-hmm.
You could be trying to escape the aliens. They could be trying to abduct you. I mean,
It's true.
think about it. You freak out.
There was
freaking
also
out.
what I read. What's it called? People in the area saw lights.
glowing lights in
Glowing-
the area.
yeah.
And apparently that other hiking group they also saw the lights. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that one does make a little sense. Although I feel like there wouldn't be much evidence. There's not much evidence of that.
Well, there's never really much evidence of any UFOs cases, really, besides like Roswell.
It's true.
But
One thing we didn't really touch on though was some of the clothing was found
radiated.
with radiation on it.
So I watched a video for people trying to debunk the radiation. Like, well, people have radiation on them. Okay. And then they're trying to bring up the candles. The candle, like, they must have been playing with the wicks and then just like rubbing their bodies all over because the wicks
Yeah.
back then had radiation on it.
Yeah, but why the hell are you gonna rub wicks
Exactly,
all over your
fucking-
body or whatever?
give me
Yeah.
fucking wicks and we'll fucking.
That doesn't make sense. I
touch
also
my
heard
body.
something about like the ones that it was found on. They actually worked in a related field that could have caused the radiation.
I heard
it
that
could have been
too.
on there way before they ever went on that hike, and it just happened to be caught on those ones.
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, that's not the biggest deal.
But they're.
But I did want to touch on that because you think about aliens, maybe they can give out some kind of radiation.
Yeah.
And so it could be connected.
Well, like crop fields come up with like radiation.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, I mean, aliens for me, it
I
doesn't
like
make
aliens.
a ton of sense.
Aliens is better than the first ones you said so far.
Yeah. Yeah, just because, I mean, you really connect anything to aliens. Or you can always.
You can.
You can always.
And I like
assume.
aliens. So.
I do like aliens. I don't like it for this case, though.
You don't? Okay.
No. I think it doesn't make a ton of sense.
Let's get to ones that you think make more sense then.
Also, the trees, I guess they were what? They were burnt, right? At the top?
I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, I heard that they were actually burnt at the top, which maybe if there's an alien craft hovering over them, I don't know how the fuck that would happen, but
Yep. I'm going to get into a theory that I didn't like. That I thought was the dumbest fucking theory I've heard. Was they had a stove outside. They put a hose or whatever the fuck inside the tent, and then they put out the stove, but somehow the embers relit, and then smoked them out. So then they ran out, and yeah.
So it was actually, I know that one because I have that one on here as well. So
That's the stupidest one I heard.
what happens is the stove was inside the tent.
Oh, I heard it was outside of the tent.
No, it's inside the tent, and Igor, he manufactured some homemade thing to where it would filter out the smoke. So you can cook inside the tent, but there would be no smoke because this little tube that he made goes outside the tent and clears out all the smoke.
Okay.
It is known that they did cook because they did eat.
Mm-hmm.
They found the food, like
They
6
did not find the
hours, 6
stove?
hours before they died or some shit like that.
They didn't find the stove, though?
I don't know, didn't they?
I didn't hear anything about a stove.
I don't know, but the theory is that, and this one actually makes a ton more sense than probably anything we've discussed so far, honestly, if you really think about it. What?
The fact that you saw those glowing lights makes more sense for aliens.
If you think about it, so the embers relight or whatever, and it doesn't start a fire, but it starts smoking.
Okay.
And now you don't have that hose attached to the stove anymore because you took it off.
Why would you take it off?
Well, because you're not using the stove anymore, and you assume
The
it's out.
stove was in there, from what I read, was to keep them warm. So they had the embers the entire time.
Well,
That's what I read.
What people are, or what I've read, is that these embers somehow accidentally relit. He didn't have the little makeshift tube that he made at home attached to the stove. Smoke filled the tent. Everybody panicked. Cut the tent open from the inside to get out quicker, and then fleed. But you're in whiteout conditions, so you get lost, you get turned around. You climb trees to try to find the campsite again. So that, to me, so far, makes the most sense. But it also doesn't explain
Everything else that we've been saying.
the trauma.
Yeah.
It doesn't explain why this woman didn't have a tongue.
Yeah. Eyeballs missing.
Yeah, because it wasn't scavengers that took this lady's tongue. A lot of people say it was scavengers. But if it was scavengers, she wouldn't have blood in her stomach.
I agree, yeah.
So, yeah. Well, that's just another one. And honestly, it's a popular one, the whole smoke in the tent. But to me, again, I don't like it. It's not as much fun.
Yeah,
So,
I don't.
It's not as much fun.
It just
think in
pisses
every
me.
theory,
it just pisses me off.
Why? Because it's so simple?
It's so stupid.
It's so simple.
No,
it's not the... It's not the answer you want.
If I would have evidence of this, which I have a theory at the end, I'll tell you that I believe this. That's it. Like I want to believe the aliens because that's fucking cool. I want to believe other evidence is coming up or other theories, but a cooler one, the best one, comes at the end.
I like it.
But yeah, no, fuck the stove. The stove did not fucking do it.
I think that's possible, but like we talked about, it doesn't explain everything. So I don't think any of the theories actually explain literally everything. So maybe it could be a combination of some. But
Okay, yeah, I agree. I can agree with that. But that one doesn't make sense for a future.
one of my two favorite ones though is
Uh-huh.
the Yeti.
I like the Yeti.
I think that's first of all, I just think that's pretty fucking cool, regardless if it's true or not.
Yeah.
The abominable snowman Yeti.
Yeah.
But I guess some
Bigfoot.
theories are that they were being stalked by this Yeti, so they had to kind
They
of
veered
veer
off
off track to kind of escape it, right?
Yeah.
Well, when they did that, they set up camp on a bad place and shit, and the Yeti found them, kind of scared him,
Forced him out of the tent.
right? And
Then they all fled, and the Yeti just had like a Michael Myers moment.
yeah, just try to kill it. Well, you think the hypothermia ones that can be explained? They just ran and got lost, right?
Yeah.
It also can be like, okay, so the Yeti's chasing you, and you're trying to get the fuck away. What are you doing? Climbing a tree.
Yep,
Get the
and
fuck
then
away.
Grab, pull down.
Yeah.
That's why his hands were all
Hands
cut
all
up.
fucked up.
Yep.
Obviously,
Blunt force
Dubonino
trauma to the chest.
Dubonino was fucking screaming.
Yeah.
So the Yeti just reaches in, grabs her fucking tongue, and pulls it out.
Just like that scene from one of the newer King Kong movies, when King Kong grabs the fucking. Did you ever see that one?
Nuh-uh. Oh, the dinosaur?
Yeah, he rips open, he grabs a
open the jaw,
T-Rex
yeah.
and takes out the tongue. And just that's
The
what
only
he did
problem
to
with
Dubonino.
that is that I don't think they found the jaw ripped in half.
No, I read that the jaw was cracked or something like that.
Oh, well, I mean,
The
that's
upper
possible.
the upper lip and part of the nose was torn off.
Mm.
So.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. King Kong it is.
Well, okay, yeah.
No, the Yeti, I love the Yeti theory, though, because it's just so much fun, man. I mean, not for them, but
Honestly,
talk
there's
about
more
it.
evidence to that than there is anything else.
Yeah, I mean, to me, yeah, when you see a Yeti, you're gonna be fucking scared, right?
And the blunt force trauma to the chest, the fractured skull, the missing eyes, the tongue. That's like ape-like features to fucking...
Oh yeah, a Yeti's strong enough to cause that kind of fucking damage, so it does explain most of the stuff. A lot of people are saying it doesn't explain the radiation, but I think we kind of talked about that already, and that can be explained by just
by the candle wicks.
by the candle wicks and by the jobs they did.
Okay, I don't like either of those because one, they were wearing jackets, snow jackets to a place that's really radiated. I don't believe that.
And also, you know what's weird is that some of them had clothes on and some of them didn't. Like,
Yeah.
I get that.
There's also I don't remember where I heard this or saw this. I mean, but they were glowing.
The people were?
Yeah, that's how irradiated they were.
Fuck no, I don't know. I didn't see anything about that. But that'd be.
I must have heard
crazy
it from
if
another
it's true.
podcast.
That'd be crazy if it's true. So the Yeti for me is probably the funnest one, but
I like it. I like it a lot, actually.
yeah. I mean, for me, it makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, if there was really trees that were scorched, I guess that doesn't really explain that.
Yeah, see, I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, I heard that the trees at the top they were burned. So
No, the fucking UFOs, motherfucker.
yeah, you can poke holes in any fucking theory, though, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you can make things look how you want them to, or you can make them not work for that theory.
Yeah. Real fast, as you can tell, he did all the research to this episode. I'm just here for the ride.
My favorite one, and the one that I think makes the absolute most sense, is a government weapons being tested. More specifically, parachute mines.
I like it. Yeah.
Parachute mines are essentially they're being dropped from the sky, right? And they explode above the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the explosion that would fucking damage you. It would be the percussion.
Yeah, it's the impact.
So the percussion would fucking fuck you up.
Yeah.
And that would explain quite a bit, though. The radiation, possibly. Although you would think you'd find it on everybody, not just 3 people, right?
Well, it depends on where and who the damage, like the people the hyperthermia people. Think about it. The only 3 people that actually there's only 3 people that had damage.
Yeah, that's true too.
Were those 3 people the ones that had radiation on them?
I mean, maybe those 3 people were maybe the ones that tried to climb the tree.
No, the person that climbed the tree just died of hyperthermia. He just had the damage on his hands.
Okay.
There's other people that had burn marks in their hands, but that could have been from the stove. Or no, they made a fire by the tree. Actually, I remember reading that. So they burnt their hands by the fire, but the 3 people that got killed were pretty far away from the tent, and they're the ones that had the damage to them. So maybe they heard the bombs going off, which is the theory that Simeon heard the bombs going off.
He's ex-military, so he knows what that shit is, right?
Yeah, so he rips open the tent, he books it, and they start running, and people trying to catch up to him. Dobanina and who's the other one that got hurt? I keep forgetting.
Dobanina and
Simeon got hurt.
Simeon had damage. I think it was Nikolai.
All right, so Dobanina and Nikolai run after Simeon, and as they're doing so, a parachute mine goes off of all of them.
Yeah, they're testing, right? So you think the government's over there testing these fucking parachute mines. They don't know people are fucking hiking there. They're just testing them.
Yeah.
And so
apparently it was a known testing
this
area.
Fucking Simeon, he fucking sees that shit. He knows what they are.
He goes, Los Vadano, Suka, and fucking dips.
Yeah, well, maybe he's just like, hey, fucking run. Everybody get the fuck out of here. And so everybody fucking runs. Well, somebody tries to climb that fucking tree to get like maybe above where the percussion would be.
I don't maybe. I mean, that was artillery.
That explains the lights in the sky, though.
Do airburst rounds, but I never heard anything
That
going
would-
that high.
That would explain the lights in the sky.
It would, because they had orange wicks on them, right?
Which
Or
were
orange
seen
lights.
by multiple people. The other fucking hikers that were on the mountain that night.
But my only thing about that is those parachute mines aren't fucking ginormous. I don't know about you, but in the whiteout, I don't think you can see a fucking light. And I also don't think one candle can be seen far away.
Possibly.
I don't know, man.
Maybe the conditions had calmed down at that point.
Well, I just don't think you can see a light that far because I don't. Where were these other campers at? Where were these other people that could see these lights? I mean, these lights were just a tiny little light on top of these mines, right?
Yeah.
There wasn't like a big fucking. Why would you have a big ginormous flashlight so the enemies can see? Oh, hey motherfucker! There's motherfucking bombs dropping out of the fucking sky.
Maybe that was so the military, like maybe they were just had the lights on there so they could track them. It's going down here. I gotta go pick up our shit afterwards.
I can't see it being bright ass lights.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would think is that you want to be able to track where you're dropping them.
I agree. You would track where they're being dropped. I 100% agree with that. But I feel like they would be red lights. Red lights, you can't. I mean, you could see lights, but it's not. You're not going to see them from far.
Yeah, I mean,
it honestly just depends on where these people that saw these lights were at.
Well,
that's why the UFO lights.
Were not
I believe
that
it.
far from them, right?
They
were pretty close.
I don't know. I don't know exactly where they're at.
Which is kind of weird, though. Why didn't the Yeti kill these people, too?
But yeah, so I would agree. This is probably one of the best theories.
Mm-hmm. It makes a ton of sense, and it covers quite a bit of, like, the holes.
Yeah.
So,
do you have another theory?
let me check here, bud.
Because if you don't, I'll get in my theory, because that kind of goes into my theory.
No, get into your theory. I think that's about all I had.
All right, so mine's also a government cover-up, because 11 months ago to a year, I can't remember when, I think it was February of 2019. So the Russian government reopened the case last year, 2019, February, because they found a note saying the military found these people, I want to say February 15th, 5 days before they were sent to go search for these people. And they found these people at what, the 25th?
So, yeah, they supposedly did.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is they found them
10 days before.
Before the 15th, that would have put it before they even reported, right?
Yeah, they found the bodies the 15th, and the family didn't even tell the military to go search for them until the 20th.
Well, shit.
And then they didn't find them until the 26th.
So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense as far as the maybe testing something.
Testing the fucking the Yeti. Maybe it was a fucking mutated thing.
Weaponized Yeti.
Yeah, maybe it was just a mutated thing that escaped a fucking military base over there, and it got out, and they were the repercussions of it. Maybe UFOs, and the military was covering it up because governments don't want people to know there's aliens out there.
Well, I think it's very, very likely that regardless of what it was, there was a
government
cover up.
Yeah.
There was a cover up of whatever it actually was because they didn't want it to get out.
Yeah.
So that I think that's very, very plausible.
Yeah. That's my favorite one because they literally found the evidence that they found the body 5 days before they were supposed to search for the body.
I read something too that the way they found the campground supposedly set up actually didn't make sense in that.
Yeah,
excuse me.
The people
experienced hikers wouldn't fucking set their camps up like that.
Yuri, the guy that left, he goes, Igor would never have done that.
He would have never set it up like that, right?
Yeah.
And didn't he say they found some kind of military cloth?
They found military clothing, yes.
Clothing?
But that could have been to Simeon. That could have been Simeon's.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. Because the guy who left, Yuri, said that none of his group would carry something like that.
Yeah. But they picked up Simeon, so...
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, to me, a cover-up makes a ton of sense regardless of what it was.
Well, now it's confirmed it was a cover-up. That's why they reopened this and they're still looking into it now. Because now it's the Russian government. It's no longer the Soviet Union. It's Russian.
So they're covering everything up now. So what do you think it was? I mean, that still fits with the parachute mines.
It also still fits with the Yeti and UFO.
Yeah, because they wouldn't want that getting out regardless, right? Any one of those things, they wouldn't want them to get out. So covering it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which, if the trees were burnt, it goes down to two. It goes out into UFOs and or parachute bombs.
Mm-hmm.
The trees were burnt on top. So Yeti would get out of the case. But like I said, I never heard anything about the trees being burnt.
Yeah, I seen something about that.
So if that is the case, it's down to two, which is UFOs and parachute bombs. If it's not true, I can go with UFOs, parachute bombs, and Yeti.
Yeah, any one of those. I like any one of those theories just because. They're fun to discuss.
Yeah.
The alien one, though, I don't know how much sense that makes to me, but Yeah, they would obviously want to cover that up if that were the case. They wouldn't want that getting out. So
I've-
any one of those kind of makes sense.
Look how much they covered up Roswell and shit like that. You can't even find any like good information on Roswell. And there's some.
No,
that's a fucking cool and that's a cool case, but you can't find
I
anything
don't
cool
even
about
like Roswell because you can't find any good information on it. So it's like,
it. Yeah, it's.
fuck it.
But yeah, so what do you think? You like the bombs, don't you?
I like what makes the most sense to me is the percussion ones. So the fucking what do you call it? The parachute mines.
Parachute mines.
That's the one that makes the most sense to me. But I think that it could be you can combine a couple of these maybe.
Yeah.
And get your answer. Like the Yeti for me is something that I kind of would not wish it was, but I kind of wish it was. Also,
I wish it wouldn't happen, but I think it would be cool if it was a Yeti.
In one of their photos, because they did have cameras, and some of them were recovered, some of them were never recovered. But in one of their photos, you can see in the background a large, like, human type thing. But it could have been a hiker, but I didn't see a backpack on that individual. And so it could have been a Yeti. It could have been. I mean,
Was it really blurry and his arms are all act like he was walking, just like our picture?
No, it's the picture. The picture's taken from these hikers, so it's not like set up. It's definitely not set up.
Maybe
they went up there to set this up and
maybe they set up Yeti, and then the motherfucker came out of the woods like, "Hey, motherfucker, I don't look nothing like that bitch," and he goes and fucking destroys him.
Respect on my name.
I can see that. So now, my leading theories now is they were trying to fake a picture of Yeti. That motherfucker came out of the woods like, "Fuck you, dude," and fucked him up.
Fuck you, dude. You ain't gonna fucking taint my name like that.
Boom, mic drop. I solved it. I'm gonna go call Russia real fast.
Yeah, I just closed your investigation. We got this figured out. No need to waste any more money. We figured it out. It's a Yeti.
Yep.
They were trying to fucking badmouth him, set him up, expose him.
The motherfucker came out there and fucking karate chopped the chests.
Karate chop straight to the chest.
He punched the motherfucker so hard in the chest that the eyeballs pop out. The tongue it dropped down like one of those old cartoons, and he just snatched it.
Bitch, give me your tongue.
Yep, that's how they did it.
And he wiped his ass with it.
If you find that tongue in the Ural Mountains, you'll find some shit on the tongue.
On the tongue. Yeah, I mean, I think we came to a conclusion here. It is definitely a Yeti.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely Yeti. No, okay, definitely government cover up. That's all I can say. 100% fact, it's a government cover up.
They covered up whatever happened there, and I think that's obvious. What happened there is a little less obvious.
Yeah, we don't know. There's obviously good theories on it, but we can say with certainty the government covered up something.
Yeah. What's new, right?
Yeah.
The government covered it up. You gotta be kidding me.
That's so surprising.
Yeah.
All right, so what we got? We got anything else?
I don't have anything else on the subject here.
All right. Well,
I mean, I'm sure we're missing a ton of shit.
Yeah, fuck it, dude. We're working on this shit, man. We're an hour into this.
So hey guys, bear with us. We're gonna get better.
Yeah, I mean, this is what episode 4.
Episode 4.
We got plenty more to go. We just got to get a little bit better. So
what I would tell you guys though is
we got rid of our jitters. I could say that. I don't feel as nervous today.
No, I'm starting to feel a little more comfortable with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please send us your ideas though, because it's hard to know what you guys are going to be interested in unless you guys tell us.
Yeah. So right now we're just picking shit that interests us, kinda.
Yeah.
We're also trying to find things that people would like to hear, and that's what we're looking up.
Yeah. What are you more interested in? Conspiracies, true crime, aliens,
government cover-ups.
Let us know.
Paranormal.
I love paranormal.
Yeah. Let us know. Send us a message on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Gmail.
You want to go down the list of how they can find us?
Facebook. Look us up on the Facebook page called Bizarre Investigations. Twitter, Bizarre Inv. So it's BizarreInv. Instagram is Bizarre Investigations. And Gmail is bizarreinvestigations@gmail.com.
Boom, bang.
So follow us. If you ask us some questions, send us some shit. We'll say the shit on here. Yeah. You got anything else?
Real quick, I think we're wrapping it up here. I just wanted to kind of reach out to my buddy. He lost a family member today. So, Bob, rest in peace, man.
Rip. All right, guys, have a good one.
Later.